So our Jewish friends began Passover last night. Passover is about a week-long holiday, and my wife is Jewish, so my family also celebrates Jewish holidays, so we had our Passover Seder last night. A Seder is a special kind of a ritual meal where certain foods are eaten and a story is told, the story of Passover. So I'm going to tell the Passover story this morning that you would hear if you went to a Seder, and maybe some of you all had Seders or are going to have one tonight as well. So long ago in Egypt, the Jewish people were slaves. They were enslaved in Egypt. The Pharaoh, who was the leader of Egypt, the ruler, well, he was not a very nice guy. His heart was hard. He did not care about the suffering of the Jewish people. He made them do really hard work. He made them make bricks and build pyramids. And he didn't care that they had hard work and they were suffering. The Jewish people called out to God and asked for help, asked for relief, asked for freedom. And the story goes that God sent a man named Moses to help the Jewish people. Moses went to the Pharaoh and said, God wants the people to be free. He wants you to let the people go. And of course the Pharaoh said no, because his heart was hard and he was not very nice. And he liked having his, pyramids being built. So Moses said, well, God is going to send 10 messages in the form of plagues. Now, a plague is something really bad, something that you don't want to happen, something that messes things up or causes harm. God is going to send 10 messages to let you know that it's really important that you give the Jewish people freedom. And so the plagues began. And they were things like polluting the Nile River, which was really sacred to the Egyptians. Things like making people sick, making animals sick, killing the crops. And after each plague, Moses went back to Pharaoh and said, let my people go. And Pharaoh, even though the plagues were upsetting, continued to say no. Sometimes he would say yes for just a minute, and then he would say no. He kept going back on his word. Finally, I know, kind of like someone we might recognize. There are some parallels in this story. Isn't that funny? I'm glad the adults figured that one out. So finally, the 10th plague happened, and it caused death to many people in Egypt, including members of the Pharaoh's own family. But that passed over the homes of the Jewish people. That's why it's called Passover. That plague, finally, Pharaoh had had enough. And he told Moses to get the people out of Egypt. He didn't want them there anymore. But they knew that Pharaoh was not a nice guy. And so they knew they needed to get out of there very quickly. So they packed up their stuff. They had dough that was rising to be bread. They had to bake it right away. If you bake dough that hasn't risen, it becomes like a cracker. That's why matzah is what is eaten at Passover. They packed everything up, took their crackers, and went running. They got to the edge of a big sea, the Sea of Reeds. And when they got to the edge of the sea, they were standing there trying to figure out, how do we cross this big sea? And they looked behind them, and there was Pharaoh's army. He had changed his mind again. Big surprise. Now, the story goes that God sent a great wind that caused the sea to part. So there were two walls of water and then just dry land in the middle. And so the Jewish people were able to run across the sea. And when all the Jewish people got to the end, got to the safety of the far side of the sea to the shore, then the water came crashing down, trapping Pharaoh's army. The Jewish people were safe, they were free, and they burst into song. And it is said that the song that they sang is a song called Dayenu. Today, instead of sending our children out with our normal sending song, we're going to sing Dayenu. So Dayenu means it would have been enough. And so the verses, it's all in Hebrew, but the verses say things like, if God had only saved us from slavery and not punished the Egyptians, it would have been enough. If God had only given us the Torah, it would have been enough. So it's a song of praise saying that any blessing from God is enough. We are grateful for everything. So we're going to sing Dayenu, the chorus, and Bob will sing the verses, and we can sing the chorus, which is Dai Dayenu, Dai Dayenu, Dai Dayenu, Dayenu, Dayenu. You'll catch on. We'll sing it a couple times, and then Bob will announce as when children can head out. We have a large RE session.